The starship Horizon Dawn moved quietly through deep space, its engines glowing softly in the darkness. Captain Ryland stood on the bridge, watching an unusual signal blinking on the screen. It was weak, old, and unlike anything humans had seen before. The crew believed it was a harmless distress call from an abandoned region of space. But they were wrong. Very wrong. The Horizon Dawn slowly followed the signal. Without knowing, the ship crossed an invisible border, an ancient line that marked the territory of a powerful alien empire known as the Varkon Dominion. For thousands of years, no species had dared to enter this zone. Anyone who crossed it disappeared forever. But humans did not know the rules of this part of the galaxy. The moment the human ship entered the forbidden zone, hundreds of hidden sensors woke from their silence. Dark satellites powered up. Old warning systems activated. Deep inside Varkon space, alarms started ringing for the first time in centuries. On the bridge, the crew felt something strange. The temperature changed. The ship's lights flickered. A cold warning appeared on their screens. Unknown signal detected. Multiple objects approaching. Captain Ryland narrowed his eyes. "Are they friendly?" he asked. No one answered. Outside, shapes began to appear, sharp, metallic, fast. Alien ships, moving like shadows in water. They spread out around the Horizon Dawn, trapping it in a deadly circle. The humans tried to open communication. No reply came. The alien ships simply locked weapons. Only then did the crew understand the truth. The signal they followed was not a distress call. It was a warning beacon. And by reaching it, humanity had just made the biggest mistake in its history. A mistake that would start a war across the galaxy. The Horizon Dawn floated helplessly inside the alien circle. Every screen on the bridge turned red as warnings screamed through the ship. The crew felt their hearts beating fast, but Captain Ryland forced himself to stay calm. "Send a message again," he ordered. "Tell them we are explorers. Tell them we mean no harm." The communication officer pressed the controls. "No response, sir. They're ignoring us." Outside, the alien ships held their positions with perfect discipline. They looked ancient and deadly. Long black hulls, glowing blue symbols, and weapon ports slowly opening like cold eyes. Then, without a single word, they fired. A bright energy beam hit the Horizon Dawn, shaking the entire ship. Panels exploded. Sparks filled the bridge. Humans screamed and grabbed onto whatever they could. Captain Ryland fell to his knees, but pulled himself back up. "Shields at 30%, an officer shouted. "Return fire," the weapons officer asked with fear. Ryland hesitated. Humanity had never fought these aliens. No one even knew their language. But the aliens made the choice for him. Another blast tore through the engine bay. The ship was dying. "Fire," Ryland commanded. The Horizon Dawn shot back with everything it had. The beam struck one alien ship, damaging its wing and forcing it to spin away. It was small damage, but it was enough. The aliens instantly changed their formation. They were no longer treating the humans like intruders. They were treating them like enemies. A final blast pierced the Horizon Dawn's hull. The entire ship shook violently. Every alarm screamed together. The crew barely had time to send one desperate SOS toward Earth. In their last moments, they finally understood. This was not a misunderstanding. This was a declaration of war. And the aliens had taken the first blood. On Earth, the SOS from the Horizon Dawn arrived as a broken, burning signal, static mixed with screams, alarms, and one final sentence. "Unknown fleet, attacking. We are under fire." Then silence. Inside the United Earth Defense Command, officers stood frozen. No one had expected this. Humanity had explored star systems before, but never faced a power that attacked without warning, without communication, without mercy. Admiral Saren, head of Earth's defense, clenched his jaw. "Replay the footage," he ordered. The room darkened, and the final recording appeared. Human eyes watched the alien ships, black, sharp, perfectly coordinated. The attack looked clean, practiced, almost routine. The Varkon Dominion had done this many times before. "They didn't even try to talk," a young officer whispered. "They wanted destruction from the start." Admiral Saren nodded slowly. "And they think we will break easily." Around the galaxy, the Varkon Dominion believed humans were weak. Their spies had reported that humans fought among themselves, had young technology, and lacked discipline. To the alien rulers, Earth was just another small world ready to be conquered. They had no idea what humanity truly was. Within hours, Earth united like never before. Old rivals cooperated. Every nation joined a single goal: survival. Massive shipyards activated. Factories switched to military production. Scientists worked nonstop on experimental weapons that were never supposed to be used. Earth prepared for war, but not like the aliens expected. Instead of fear, humanity used anger. Instead of surrender, they used strategy. And instead of hiding, they planned to strike back. As the Varkon Dominion celebrated their easy victory, Admiral Saren stood before the Defense Council and spoke with a steady voice. "They think humans are weak," he said. "They are about to learn how wrong they are." The real war was about to begin. The Varkon Dominion moved with terrifying speed. Within days, their invasion fleet entered the outer edge of the solar system, cold, silent, and confident. Their commanders believed Earth would surrender the moment they arrived. They expected weak defenses, confused leadership, and no real resistance. But humanity had prepared something unexpected. Hidden in the shadows of asteroids, behind moons, and inside artificial dust clouds, small human strike teams waited silently. These were not normal warships. They were experimental stealth vessels, built in secret and never tested in real combat, until now. Captain Mira Cade, commander of the stealth ship Black Spear, watched the alien fleet through a dark hologram. "They're spreading into formation," she whispered. "Just like the simulations." Her crew nodded nervously. The plan was simple but dangerous. Human ships would strike first, fast and unseen, using tactics the aliens had never faced. When the Varkon fleet passed the asteroid belt, humanity made its move. "Launch solar flare decoys," Mira ordered. Massive artificial mirrors released a concentrated burst of sunlight, blinding the alien sensors. At the same moment, human ships fired EMP nets, huge webs of electromagnetic energy, wrapping around alien cruisers and shutting down their engines. Panic spread across the Varkon fleet. This wasn't how battles usually began. Their war manuals had no answer for these strange human tricks. Then came the second strike. Human drones, disguised as asteroid fragments, activated and exploded inside the alien formation. One Varkon destroyer broke apart completely. Two more lost control and spun away. Captain Mira smiled for the first time. "They thought we were predictable," she said. They were wrong. But the aliens recovered quickly. Their main battleships turned toward the human ambushers, charging their weapons with deadly blue energy. The counterstrike had worked, but now humanity would face the Empire's full fury. The battle had only just begun. Deep under Earth's polar ice, inside a hidden military chamber known only to a few world leaders, a massive metallic gate slowly opened. Behind it rested humanity's most secret creation, Project Orion Nova. The ship was enormous, larger than any vessel humans had ever built. Its hull glowed with shifting blue lines, powered by a fusion core designed to unleash impossible energy. For 20 years, scientists had worked in silence, preparing this single weapon for a threat no one believed would ever arrive. Now, that threat was here. Admiral Saren stood before the towering warship. "Activate Orion Nova," he said quietly. Engineers rushed forward. Lights flickered. The floor vibrated. The dreadnought woke up like a sleeping giant. Its engines released a deep, thunderous roar that echoed through the entire facility. Moments later, the ship launched into space. At the same time, the Varkon Dominion fleet was reorganizing after humanity's surprise counterstrike. Their commanders felt insulted. No young species had ever damaged a Varkon warship before. Their pride demanded vengeance. But when their scanners detected Orion Nova entering the battlefield, confusion spread through their ranks. "What is that?" one alien commander whispered. The human dreadnought didn't hide. It flew straight toward them, glowing like a star. Its shields pulsed with strange energy the aliens had never seen. The Varkon fleet opened fire, sending dozens of beams toward it. But the blasts hit Orion Nova's shield and disappeared like sparks on water. Then, humanity struck. The dreadnought unleashed a single fusion lance. The beam tore through a Varkon cruiser, cutting it clean in half. Another enemy ship exploded seconds later. Panic rippled across the alien formation. Their greatest fleets had never faced a weapon like this. For the first time in centuries, the Varkon Dominion felt fear. And humanity was just getting started. The arrival of Orion Nova changed the entire battlefield. Human soldiers watching from smaller ships felt hope for the first time. The dreadnought moved like a living storm, slow, unstoppable, shining with raw power. Every pulse of its engines sent tremors across nearby ships. But hope was short-lived. As Orion Nova destroyed the Varkon cruiser, the alien commanders activated something even their own people rarely saw. A massive tear opened in space, dark, swirling, silent. From inside, it came the full might of the Varkon Grand Armada. Thousands of ships, different shapes, different sizes, all built for one purpose: total destruction. Human officers stared at their screens in disbelief. They brought their entire armada, one whispered. Admiral Saren's voice came over the comms, steady and calm. Humanity does not retreat. All ships, defensive formation. Orion Nova, take point. The dreadnought moved forward, placing itself between the alien armada and Earth. Its shields glowed brighter, feeding on the fusion core deep inside. The Varkon fleets opened fire. Space exploded with light. Blue beams, red missiles, and molten plasma filled the void. Orion Nova held the front line, shielding hundreds of human ships behind it. But even the mighty dreadnought trembled under the endless attack. Inside the alien flagship, the Varkon Supreme Commander watched carefully. He had studied 1,000 species, crushed 100 rebellions, erased entire planets. But this enemy felt different. These humans, he hissed. They fight with emotion, with fire. They are unpredictable. Human ships launched a counterattack, drones, torpedoes, EMP waves, everything they had. The battle became chaos. For every human ship destroyed, another pushed forward with fury. For every alien vessel that fell, 10 more appeared. But one truth was clear. This was no longer a small conflict. This was the beginning of a war for survival, for home, for everything humanity loved. And neither side would stop. The galaxy had changed forever.